how great was this for basketball? They were able to honor Kobe Bryant and also have such an exciting All-Star game.
I'll make this real quick because I want to hear from the wonderful Doris Burke while we have her here. I will tell you that it was a sensational fourth quarter. You're talking about, I think it was like 48 fast break points the first 3 quarters, not a single fast break point in the final quarter. We saw Kawhi Leonard drilling threes from all over the place. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the effort that the players showed and how they went after it, it was really something special to see that it mattered. The fact is there was no clock. My only issue all night long was with the ending. I think that it should have ended on a free throw. What happens if Anthony Davis gets fouled, then you go to the side and you take the ball out. It has to be scored on a shot from the field because it's the All-Star game. It's an exhibition, and I think you want to see it end on something other than a free throw. But that's about it. The effort that these guys were putting into it. I loved seeing Chris Paul and LeBron James and these guys arguing and fighting with the referees over calls. Kyle Lowry taking off 2 offensive fouls, for crying out loud. The leader in the league in taking offensive fouls. He took 2 yesterday. I mean, it was something special to watch. I was really, really proud of the NBA, and I thought it just sent the right message about how much these guys care and how much these guys compete. And I think it should serve to elevate the level of basketball or the affection for basketball moving forward when you see something like this.
I mean, simply put to me, they fixed the All-Star game. Go ahead, Max.
No, please, Doris, please.
We
usually like the expert to go last because they sit in judgment. That this is a topic that doesn't require that. Please go ahead.
They fixed the All-Star game, in my estimation. I think other leagues need to look at this. One of the things we know about the NBA is they are proactive. If they see something wrong with their league, they take everything in their power and try to fix that. The strategy was compelling to me. Think about the first quarter. Team LeBron wins. What happened? Giannis came out like a house of fire in quarter 2. So throughout the course of the game, it elevated in terms of its competitiveness. Third quarter played evenly. Fourth quarter, LeBron James's team is down 9, and they are playing like it's game 1 of the NBA Finals. Very few fast break points, very few dunks. The individual defense played by Giannis Antetokounmpo on the corner of LeBron James, where he closes space and blocks a shot.
Yep.
And the assassin, Kawhi Leonard, coming out in the first quarter. He drilled 7 threes, 8 overall in the game. I mean, you talk about the ability, and then maybe the most important thing I think they pulled off on the entire weekend. And Saturday night was as good as Sunday. The most important thing, how do you manage honoring the great David Stern, Kobe and Gianna, and still make it feel like it should to the fans? The touch that the NBA showed was nothing short of remarkable.
No question. It felt like a playoff.
Go ahead, Max.
That's why, Doris, I don't like to follow Doris Burke. That's tough. The touch is exactly right. That's exactly right. How do you do that and also create that feeling? That's great. I got to say this. It's a loaded question. Like the answer to this is in the question. We're not sitting here debating anything. The question is, how great was the All-Star game? Because you're not going to find anyone who says it wasn't great. It was. So the question is why. I have to tip my hat again to Adam Silver. I have to do it because no commissioner's perfect. He's made mistakes, but he consistently, when it matters most, gets it right. And to Chris Paul, who brought him the idea of this style of ending. It's an exhibition. So the problem is, even in a sport like basketball that would lend itself to a great exhibition, there's no tackling. It's not the NFL. It doesn't have to be the Pro Bowl. It should be a great game. But you can't quite get there. It's been lackluster for years and years now. So honoring Kobe Bryant, the whole idea of adding 24 points to the high total of after the third quarter was, in theory, it all looked good. And then it turned out great. The players really responded to it. Now, whether that's extra inspiration to honor Kobe or this can be an ongoing sort of thing remains to be seen. But the fact is, the commissioner was willing to take a chance, to take a big swing. It did not have to work out well, and then he would have been criticized, but he wasn't afraid to try it. And as a result of that kind of open-mindedness and innovation, and again, Chris Paul deserves a lot of credit for bringing the idea, we got an all-star game for the ages. We'll always remember this. Hats off to the NBA.
And you make a great point. I mean, Kobe Bryant ultimately will have the longest say in this thing because the initial thought for the NBA was they were going to add 35 points. If they had added 35 points, we might still be playing that basketball game. So the idea that they're going to stick with 24 seconds is tremendous.
You know, the thing about it that, you know, listen, Adam Silver is phenomenal, and we all know that. We know what a great job that he's done in succeeding the great David Stern as commissioner of the NBA. And Chris Paul, president of the Players Association, obviously deserves a lot of credit. But the two guys that really jump out on me are the captains, LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo, because if you don't go out there and play with the effort and the fervor and push it the way that they pushed it, there's an entirely different complexion that we walk away with. Certainly, you other guys were doing it as well, but they followed their lead. Yes. These guys were going at it with each other. They were going at it in terms of effort and intensity, particularly defensive tenacity. And for LeBron James to be down 9 and to come out there in the fourth quarter and to go after it the way that he did, and Giannis to guard him and to go at him the way that he did, it just set the whole tempo for the fourth quarter, and that's what I loved about it.
You know what was interesting to watch was some of the strategy that came into play, and the basketball tournament has seen this. So they get to 3 points away, and for the next 6 or 7 possessions, they kept taking threes. And it wasn't until LeBron discarded his defender at the top, went in and dunked it, that I was thinking, go do that. Like, put more pressure on them, then you're a point away. So, but one thing, like, any concerns from the teams, my understanding is, from talking to people down there, presidents, GMs, PR, media, everybody loved it, including, most importantly, the players. Would you be scared if you're a coach, though?
Yeah, but it just shows the appreciation that you have for the game because, you know what, and everybody, this is the thing, everybody bought in because everybody saw. As you're watching it, if you cover the NBA, if you're associated with the NBA in any way like we've been for decades, you saw that everyone was buying into what was uplifting the game in the moment. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.